You're listening to Eat, Play, Live with me, Andy P., the show that's chasing dreams and crushing goals. And my goal here is to help you live a healthier, happier, more balanced life. And so we are going to do that today by talking about gifts. It is the season of giving, after all. It may not look like it if you're watching on Facebook Live, and notice that my setting is a little tropical still. Yes, I am broadcasting from Cozumel, Mexico once again, and doing a very different Christmas season. So that is what is going to play in a lot to this show, because this has been a month of discovery and learning some really interesting lessons about being just completely on your own in a foreign country and getting to know what you need and how to get along in a completely different environment. So we'll kind of take from that as I go through and talk about all the gifts of this season, the gift of good health, the gift of joy. You know, we spend so much time running about and deciding what gifts to buy and for whom to buy them, and just all the different things that come into this season, and we forget that the most important gift we can give is a gift to ourselves. So the best gifts are not material objects that you can buy from the store, but the memories we make with the people we love. And those people include you, even all by yourself. The memories that you make. I made an incredible memory yesterday, so I decided that I wanted to see the sunrise on the east side of this island, which is the side where there's nobody lives over there. There's no electricity. And so to get over there, I had to ride my bike in the pitch dark, very early hours of the morning. And it was a little sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. I had to stick my phone down like into my shirt with the flashlight on so that I could see the road ahead, and had all these crazy scenarios in my head, but just for a little tiny brief amount of time. And then arriving and watching the waves crash against the shore as the sun rose over the ocean. Those are the kind of memories that you can create for yourself that are just going to last a lifetime. And there are things wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you can do by yourself or with your loved ones that can create the most incredible memories. So I really want to encourage you throughout this show to remember that material objects are not the gifts that last. Think back to Christmases of your childhood. What do you remember? Is it a thing? It's rarely a thing. There's a few things that kind of made an impact throughout our lives, of course. But mostly, I mean, for me, I remember the smells and the time with my grandparents and my grandma's Christmas tree with those icicles that every time you walk by, they would stick to you with the static electricity. Those are the things that stick with you. So if you're stressing over shopping and preparing party plans and outfits and details and pictures, oh my gosh, we have to have all the matching outfits for the social media pictures of our whole family, and the matching pajamas, and it's cute. Don't get me wrong, it's adorable. But what are you doing? Are you just stressing yourself out? What kind of gift are you giving yourself? What kind of healthy, happier, more balanced life are you creating by having to keep up with all of this stuff we think we have to do? Because that is what Christmas is supposed to look like. You know, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about that as I've been celebrating a Caribbean Christmas, or Caribbean, depending on how you say it. But it's weird, you know, you see the Christmas lights on palm trees, and I was at the beach all day, and it's 80 plus degrees and super humid, and it doesn't feel like Christmas. It doesn't look like Christmas. It doesn't matter. It still is. It's still the season of giving. So whatever it looks like let's take away those expectations of what it has to look like. Do something totally new and different, and it doesn't have to be as extreme. This is a little extreme. Spending an entire month on an island is maybe a little extreme, but man, this is one Christmas that I am not going to forget. And so I encourage you to just do something different. Do something new, something you've never thought of before. What can you do to make this Christmas more memorable? What can you eat? Is the food really that memorable? Do you have any specific foods that are tied to your Christmas memories? You might. A lot of people do. There are certain cookies that are only made at Christmas time, certain whatever. I don't cook a lot, so I don't know what they are, but I know people have them. So that's okay. That's okay. Those bring back smells and remembrances of times in your past that are important to you. And that's okay. But we need to have some balance with what we're eating. As you know, this season can be very tricky for the waistline. It is not easy, no matter where you are. If you're on an island, if you're at home, if you're visiting family, anywhere, it can be very tough. Most people gain 8 to 10 pounds over the holiday season. That's a lot. That's an entire pant size. And I get it. We all say, okay, well, after New Year's, we'll take it off. But what if we don't gain all that weight over Christmas? What if we give ourselves the gift of not doing that and just making a little bit better choices each day as we move through the day? Start with breakfast. Get up, eat a healthy breakfast. That's the easiest place to start. You know what you have. Don't go out. You know what you can do to eat healthy, to start your day with some good protein, some complex carbs, water, even in the form of coffee. Yes, I'm not starting the day without coffee, but start very strong so that as the Christmas party or the work dinner or the family gathering, whatever you have coming at you, doesn't have to totally derail everything. Yeah, you're probably going to eat some things you shouldn't eat over the next week or two, but just because you get one flat tire, don't shoot the other three, okay? It's okay to just keep going and make better choices the next day. So I went and found some recipes online because I think, in this time we do want to eat a little fancier. We have a lot of things going on. So I looked up some of the most decadent dinners that are actually secretly healthy. And I put a link on my Facebook, eatplaylive.andy, so you can go there and you can see the entire recipe. I'm not going to list out entire recipes here because I know you're not sitting around with a pen and paper, as much as I would love to believe that you are just writing down every word. I don't believe that's actually happening. So I put the link on my Facebook so you can go and look up the recipes, but I want to tell you about a few of these meals and see if it just kind of sparks some ideas with you. How about bruschetta chicken? That sounds super fancy. It's actually secretly healthy. Shrimp scampi made with zoodles. Do you know what zoodles are? If you don't know what zoodles are, you're going to have to Google it because you need to know what zoodles are. Okay, don't Google it. I'll tell you. They're noodles made out of zucchini. Don't make that face. They're good. And you can make shrimp scampi with them, and it is amazing. Secretly very healthy. Nobody has to know. How about, are you vegan? Vegan butternut mac and cheese with smoky shiitake. That's not a bad word. It's okay. I can say it on the radio. Forget the vegan. If that part you get hung up on, it's mac and cheese, but made from butternut squash with smoky shiitake mushrooms. It sounds amazing. How about an egg roll bowl? Okay, the problem with egg rolls, the insides are super healthy, but then they're wrapped in that rice paper and fried. Darn the frying. We talk about this all the time. So an egg roll bowl, and the recipe, again, is on my Facebook. chicken meatballs with cauliflower rice and coconut herb balls. Sounds fancy, right? How about portobello mushrooms stuffed with barley risotto? Don't be scared. These are not that hard to make. I'm pretty sure that even I can do it. Although I did twice since I've been here put eggs on to boil and forget about them and leave. That's not good. Don't leave eggs boiling for hours because you come home to little brown nuggets that are not edible. So anyway, I'm giving you this advice. Don't ever ask me to cook for you, clearly. Eggplant pizza. How about eggplant pizza? That's fancy. Crispy baked chicken tenders. For those of you who are needing a little adult comfort food, you can make a healthy chicken tender. It can be done. It's not going to be found at a fast food place, I guarantee you. Those are not for you. They're not for your kids either, actually. I know. And I was a chicken nugget fan. I could not understand how my mom could drive by a McDonald's and not pull in every time you saw one, because chicken nuggets don't do that. Because as an adult, or even as a teenager, then I had to battle those weight problems brought on by a love of fast food and things like chicken nuggets. The last one on the list, good breakfast item, quiche with gluten-free sweet potato crust. I bet that's really, really good. And if you have family coming for the holidays, that's the kind of thing you could make ahead, have it in the freezer, and then in the morning, maybe Christmas morning even, you get up, everybody gets up, you just stick that in the oven, and while everybody's opening gifts, voila, then you have a nice quiche for the family, and at least hopefully eat something healthy to go along with the chocolate and whatnot that's in those Christmas stockings. So, did I tell you this quote? I saw this quote and I thought it was really funny. I hope Santa leaves me a skinny body and a fat wallet this year instead of the other way around like he did last year. Well, you can help Santa do this. I'm just saying, you can help him out. Another gift you can give yourself, the gift of play. You know, you're listening to Eat, Play, Live with me, Andy P. Just a little reminder there. And so we talked about food. Now let's talk about the gift of play. You know, the most precious gift you can give yourself is time and attention. And those are things you're doing for yourself when you play. So, are you letting other people steal your time and your energy? It's easy to do this year because you're maxed out. I understand all the things that you and most people, normally I do fit in this category a lot more. This year is definitely an oddball, I just sort of removed myself from the entire Christmas situation. But most years, I'm right there with you. And we're figuring out occasions and celebrations and kids' performances, shopping, gift exchanges, company parties, all the things. And who has time to work out, right? Who has time to play, to exercise, to move your body other than to get from one thing to the next and all the stuff and wrap things and give the gifts and why? You know what you're doing? You're creating stress. And you know what stress does? It makes you bloated, makes you gain weight. That 8 to 10 pounds I was talking about that most people gain over the holidays, a lot of that could also be caused by stress. This is the most magical, beautiful time of the year, and yet we're moving through it stressed to the max. That doesn't even make any sense. So what would happen if you just stopped the madness? What would happen? What if you just find your peace? Find a way to get some peace. Come on here. If you're watching on Facebook Live, you can see this beautiful swimming pool behind me, this garden that I'm sitting in. Come on. It does not cost hardly anything to stay here. Let me just tell you, this is a super inexpensive and safe place to visit. No, they're not paying me to say this. I love this island. And for me, it's where I find my peace. So where do you find your peace? Maybe it's right down your street. Maybe it's in your backyard. Take the time for yourself to to find your peace. Go outside and play. No matter what the weather is, go for a walk. If it's really, really too cold, I've made some friends here that are from Canada, and it sounds like it's really, really too cold in Canada, then go to the gym where you can be inside. But find a way to move your body, to get your blood pumping and get your heart going and bring down that stress level and burn off the calories of those Christmas cookies and whatever else, eggnog. I remember eggnog. Yeah, it's good, but it's just not worth the calories. So many calories. Oh my gosh. Make time to play. That's the point. You've just got to find the time in your day to feed back into you. Yes, I get it. This season is all about giving to others, but we also have to feed into ourselves. And if we're going to live life to the very fullest, then we've got to do that. We've got to put the oxygen mask on ourselves before we help others. So, maybe you don't get all the gifts for all the people. Maybe you don't send all the Christmas cards. Maybe you don't go to all the functions. So what? So what? Is anybody even gonna remember next year that you didn't go to the one this? Maybe. You decide. Write it down. Write a list. Balance it out. What is more important to you? To be present in every situation, or to be present right here? Each day is a gift. Don't leave it unopened. What can you do to make this day a gift to you and to the ones you love? Taking care of yourself, eating healthy, exercising is not just for you. Yes, it makes you look better and feel better, but it also helps you be better for the people who care about you and who you care about. Then think about who you're giving your time to. And this, especially this time of year, but really always, who are you giving your time to? Are the people you're surrounding yourself with people who bring sunshine into your life? Who shine brightly, who lift you up, who encourage you, or are they not? And if they're not, why not? And where do you go? What do you do right now? There's just so many things. There's so many things pulling us in so many directions. And I know I'm not just making this up because I see you all on Facebook. I see all the stuff you're doing. In fact, I even went to my nephew's band concert last week. I took a little side jaunt back to the States and I attended this band concert, and it was super precious, and he did such a good job, and I love that I could be there. But also at the same time I was thinking, man, this is long, and I'm really glad my kids are out of school. So for you parents who are going to all the concerts, choir, band, dance, all of the things, oh, bless you, bless you. I know they're long, and your child is the most precious, of course, but they're long. This too shall pass, so don't worry. And then think about who you're giving to. Who are you buying gifts for? Is that causing stress to you? I used to find it really stressful when I was part of a large family that, can you afford to give gifts to everybody? And the balancing of, did I spend enough on this one? Is it going to be fair to that one? And everything's got to be equal. And then charities, you've got to weigh in your charities as well. And how much are you giving to this specific charity? And can you? And see, just going through all the things that we do during the holidays is causing me stress just thinking about it. And I'm not even doing it. I'm over here looking at some coconuts. So
6:10.
Just say no. Give yourself the gift of having the ability, having the strength, having the understanding that you are 100% allowed to just say no to some of the stuff that is draining you and is not a gift to you. Because when you're drained, then you don't have anything to give to anybody else. And if there are people in your life, I talk about a lot of times about people who feed into us and who are sunshine to us and lift us up. But what about the people who don't? What's going on with those people? What about the people you're angry with? What's going on with them over the holidays? Well, let's talk about one more gift. Forgiving those people that you're mad at, that have done you wrong, forgiving them is your gift to them. But moving on is your gift to yourself. So let it go. Just let it go. Be free. Freedom is not being able to just go and do anything you want and being crazy all the time and I'm free, I don't have any responsibility. That's not what freedom is. But it is not being chained by other people's judgments and obligations, and you're not. Unless you do it yourself. You have the key to unlock it, so unlock it. Give yourself that gift and imagine what Christmas would feel like without all that. Thank you so much for joining me from what will be my last broadcast this year from Cozumel. Next week, I think it's Christmas Eve. I totally have lost track of what day it is. Next week, I'll be broadcasting from New York City, where I will be right in the middle of Christmas, like Christmas Central. So it'll probably be a whole different vibe. But tune in, join me next Thursday. And until then, thank you for being part of my tribe and listening to Eat, Play, Live. Adios.